You ever think so hard that you give yourself a headache? You ever, yeah, you ever think so like, I'm really focusing here, I'm giving myself a headache? That has never happened at any point in time within the confines of this show because let's be honest, we don't think all that much when it comes to this show. Not a whole hell of a lot of thinking. So we're back from our break, our 2-week 4th of July break. Happy Independence Day to everyone. I hope everyone had a great Independence Day. I had a nice one. I went to a drive-in movie with my girlfriend, and we went to see The Invisible Man, which I highly recommend. It was a great movie. I really loved it. That's how you do horror movies. But I hope everyone had a good Independence Day. I hope everyone had a good 2 weeks off. I hope somebody missed us. I hope we were missed because I miss being on this show. I missed Arnie. I missed Mitch.
Whoa. You missed me?
Yeah, I missed you. I threw a whole bunch of stuff at you, and my aim was just off. It just didn't work. I don't, So I'm like, man, I need to come back from my break and get back on the show because it's the early late night live show, and we're on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 on Extra Channel 98 and on our YouTube channel, the Early Late Night Live Show YouTube channel. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and enemies alike because we need this channel to grow. We need people to watch this show because we have no friends and we're all stuck at home. But I'll be all right. So I want to thank everyone for coming, for who's always been a supporter of the show. And we are changing the format up a little bit since the break. Don't get us wrong, we didn't do too much work before this, but we are changing the format up a bit. We are now going to try doing just one trailer because I always felt like we were overrunning the trailers, like we're running out of time, and I was trying to rush people through stuff, and I felt like I was kept shutting up Mitch. I know I'm shutting up Arnie, but I didn't mean to shut up Mitch, so... And so I want to make sure we have some extra time for that. And our guest segment is now going to be the first and second quarter of the show. Because let's be honest, without the guests, we don't have a show. It's just us three knuckleheads talking. And Ryan, who I keep telling him to shut up his microphone on purpose. And you will keep your microphone off, Ryan. So, in the final quarter of the show, we will do a game hosted by our very own Mitch Fortier. Because he's a guy I don't call just by his first name. I have to throw his last name in there. He pointed out to me one day, and I thought that's really weird. Mitch Fortier. So, welcome back to the Early Late Night Live Show on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8. And our special guest today is Ethan Aho, a man who has accomplished a great thing over the weekend. And we will be talking about that over the last week, actually. Not over the weekend, over the last week. And we'll be talking about that in our guest segment. But it's our favorite segment of the show. That's why we cut it in half and shortened it and put it at the beginning of the show to get it over with. Trailer trash. Oh, one quick thing. We got rid of the news segment because, let's be honest, we were never relevant. So it didn't make any sense. Anyways. So we didn't get rid of trailer trash. And here it is. What's our first trailer we have up? Our only trailer. Wow, I got to cut myself there. Only trailer we have up, Arnie.
All right, so our trailer is for Brave New World. Can we roll that, please?
Roll that beautiful.
Yeah, that's exactly the theme song from Brave New World. So Brave New World comes out today. I believe it's on the Peacock streaming site, whatever you call it.
Right, everyone's talking about that. No, I never even heard about it until I saw this trailer.
So anyway, it's a TV series. It's a dramatic sci-fi series based on, I'm going to say his name wrong, Aldous Huxley's book, which is set in a dystopian future. It stars Alden, and I'm going to say this wrong, Ehrenreich. Is that right?
I think so.
All right. Jessica Brown Finley and Harry Lloyd. And IMDb actually doesn't have a nice little write-up, so I had to go somewhere to the Encyclopedia Britannica to find a nice little write-up. This takes place in a futuristic society called the World State that revolves around science and efficiency. Emotions, individuality are conditioned out of children at a young age, and there are no lasting relationships because everyone belongs to everyone else.
Wow. Talk about, a wild night in Los Angeles, this whole thing. Man, this is just, it was just pill popping, and we're all in this together type of situation, and people putting weird stuff in their eyes, and one scruffy looking dude who doesn't feel like this is the right thing. I kind of like the look of this, not gonna lie. It is not my type of plot usually, but I'm a big fan of Equilibrium, which I think was a very good underrated film with Christian Bale. And if you haven't seen it, well then where have you been? It's a great movie. Most people haven't seen it actually, but it is a really great movie. Definitely should check it out. And I would like to see. I would like to see a future that isn't bleak in some form or another. But this
Watch Star Trek.
Well, this looks really interesting. I like the look of this. It feels like kind of an updated Logan's Run, you know, in that type of like feel and the way they have the visuals in it and stuff like that. And Alden, dude, if you're gonna be famous, change your last name. So I'm gonna call him Aldi. All right, Aldi, who played Han Solo for people who haven't known, which I actually thought was a good movie. It was one of the few Star Wars films I thought was quite good. One of the new ones. I liked it. It's a very fun movie. He was very good in it. And I watched this trailer and I thought, this is a role Harrison Ford would have played back in the day. And
I think all these typecast now.
And this was it was just this. He looks so cool in this. Like he looks just like the kind of rough and tumble outcast character. Equilibrium is a badass movie. Wicked underrated. Thank you, Rick Silva. That is absolutely true. So yeah, I like the plot. I like his screen presence in this. I am really excited about this series. This looks quite good. So, Mitch, what are your thoughts for this trailer?
So the Peacock is run by ABC Universal, this is their flagship, if you will, launch product. This thing they're trying to make their name based off of, and I think it's kind of an interesting choice.
Peacock, yes, right.
ABC.
Nobody realized this is a peacock. ABC, the symbol, yes.
But it's one of the free services, right?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Is it free?
No, no, I don't think it is. But I could be wrong about that. But
I don't know. We don't talk about relevant information, Ethan. What's the matter with you? Okay.
Hey, you know what? If we had news segments, I might have actually used it to figure it out at some point or another.
You know, that's gone the way of the dodo. All right. Another bird, which no one talks about.
I'll look up Peacock. You keep talking, Mitch.
All right, sweet. I started looking into the description of it, and the utopian society, and okay. Well, first of all, let me just say this: when the lady comes up on the screen, I'm sure that they fully intended to do this. It was all about her taking this little pill, and it looked like a Mentos commercial. And I'm like, oh, great. I got to wait through another commercial before I can actually see the trailer. I'm like, all right, waiting to click the button, skip ad, and it never came up. And I'm like, oh, crap, that's actually part of the trailer.
Yeah, I felt the same way too, yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I thought it was it was a little bit annoying at first, but then afterwards I thought it was kind of clever and interesting. So I fully rewound and watched the full trailer, knowing full well that was part of the whole deal, and it was a nice smooth transition into the rest of the film. But it felt just really kind of overall, it felt bleak and frustrating, and not that I'm not a fan of stuff that's kind of intense and thought-provoking and like Black Mirror type stuff, because I actually really appreciate some of those sci-fi, dystopia, utopian, you name it. Black Mirror kind of covers a lot of that stuff, but there's something about this that just rubs me the wrong way, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I mean, the prohibition of monogamy in the description of it, the idea that there's just a bunch of people, all kind of brainwashed in this, environment, and then there's this one dude who comes in and starts to try to wake people up. It just seems done to me, and I kind of.
Well, I don't think anyone's thinking this is a highly original, because we made jokes about the dystopian future. But we are going to move on. I'm curious, Arnie, what is your thoughts on this?
Well, I can ask a second, Mitch. I love the production value. I love the cast, and it looks really good. But I don't feel like there's anything new or even particularly intriguing. Oh, gee, a society where they program you not to have a personality and make you pop pills, and it's not going to work? Really? Okay, you tell me something new. So I kind of want to watch it because it looks so slick, and I like Aldi, but there's nothing really grabs me in this trailer except that I watched it and thought, I wonder if these people really want to do Logan's Run. And I wonder if they'd do anything different with it if they did it.
Well, real quick, Rick Silver says the show looks like a giant ad for how it feels to chew 5 gum.
Yeah, not far.
I like that, yeah.
Hey, I just want to add too. I didn't see Demi Moore in this trailer at all. Did you?
No.
Briefly, yeah.
You did. Okay. Well, so
Ethan
much for
Aho.
that star.
Oh, sorry. Ethan Aho, your thoughts on this trailer?
Well, my brain immediately went to Logan's Run like your guys, and it sort of feels like that combined with The Island.
Oh yeah, with Ewan McGregor.
With all the I think Jessica Alba or something, but it's just all the white, the white uniforms, they try to make it look so pure somehow compared to the outside. I mean, the eyeball thing got me. I'll admit that when he's got the little needle thing going towards the eye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very Minority Report feeling.
Actually, you know what? That reminded me of The Wizard of Oz, because in the book, you have to wear the green glasses when you go into Oz. And it's like, I think it's Dorothy that says if we take the glasses off, it doesn't look any different than any other city.
Oh, did not know that. So I don't know. I'm not too keen on seeing it. I see so many trailers out now with these high production values. Like, this looks amazing, but so does so much else coming out right now. So I try to narrow down what I watch, but this isn't one I don't think I'm going to watch.
All right, Ethan, what's your rating for this then?
I'll give it a thumbs up because, it looks great and I like some of the actors in it. And then the other thumb will be down just because it's not something I'm probably going to watch.
All right, Mitch Fortier?
I'm one thumb down, purely based on the subject matter, and one thumb sideways for the production value and known actors that I'm curious to see.
All right. Arnie?
I'm going to do one thumb up because I like Aldi, and I just signed up for Peacocks, and I'm going to watch it.
Is Peacock free?
According to this, yeah. So I figure I'll watch it as long as I can. And they have all of Columbo, so just saying. Maybe
we're not
anything.
Good to
we're
know.
just asking a question just so everyone knows. We don't know anything.
Not advertising.
about this. All
There's
right.
nothing about it. But, one thumb
I'm
up
gonna
because
Huh?
and then one on the side because even though I am going to check it out, it doesn't look like anything new. So.
Well, okay. So I've got this thing about people say, when is something new going to come out? When you forget everything.
Right,
that's when something new is going to come out. When you forget everything, because everything has been done to death, and it wasn't just our generation that discovered the magic of remakes. Just so everyone knows. All right.
I guess they should clarify. I mean, it doesn't look intriguing. There's no.
Right.
Yeah, it looks very blah. That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, damn. Peacock has all of Columbo. I need to sign up now. That's awesome. So,
yes.
For me, I'm going to get one solid thumb up because Aldi just brought it together for me. His presence on it. And one thumb sideways because this type of film this type of show I don't normally want to watch. I didn't really ever want to watch Logan's Run. But Aldi really kind of brought it in. I'm like, okay, he's intrigued me. He's got just an interesting walk and stillness, which is hard for most actors to do. But we gotta cut the break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk with our very special guest, Ethan Aho, who's not going to be talking about a peacock. He's going to be talking about an armadillo because we got a question for him, and he's going to be talking about another futuristic type of thing, rockets and all this happy fancy stuff, and somehow or other Arnie and Mitch are involved. But anyways, we're going to break. We come back. We're going to break. We come back. We'll have Ethan Aho, a special guest, talking about some amazing stuff. Early Late Night Live Show, Wednesday night, 7-8. I wish someone would come up with a new idea for the show.
Seriously, Terry, I think we should start talking about politics on the show.
Seriously, Mitch, I think we should start talking about your position on the show.
Seriously, I'm gonna go.
Competitive game.
Competitive get out.
Got
Sports!
No, Dave.
it. Hey, Terry.
Hey, Steve, go home.
Going.
Story time. I could change now.
So, Terry.
Why are you not in the sketch?
I just want to belong.
Welcome back to the Early Late Night Live Show on every Wednesday night, 7 to 8 on Exeter Channel 98 and on our YouTube channel, the Early Late Night Live Show YouTube channel. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're watching right now, please give it a thumbs up so we know that you're there, because we need friends, and thumbs up make us feel good, because we have bad feelings about ourselves all the time because we're artists. That's why we do this. But a man who's not really as highly insecure as the rest of us are, or at least he doesn't appear to be, Ethan Aho is a man of great accomplishments, and over the past, was it 3 days, you shot an entire, almost feature-length film, correct?
Yeah. So in January, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of talking about filmmaking. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked a hell of a year to, make a film.
Yeah.
I felt like it's one that's like a hell of a day to quit, sniffing glue, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
everything just kept coming up. But
right, yeah, moving on. Sorry.
so I kept at it. I got the script finalized, reviewed, all that stuff. And then it's like, all right, now it's time to do props and casting and all that fun stuff. And I started off with two people, Mitch and KJ. KJ, I know, is a lover of sci-fi, and she's produced film. So it's like, hey, come here, I want to talk with you. And we closed out a Panera Bread. Like, they turned off the lights on us. Like, you guys need to leave now.
Has someone done
we
that?
had fun. And then Mitch and I met at a Mexican place, and we talked ideas there. And so the two of them really helped me finalize what the production plan was going to be. And then I ran with it. So I rented the Strand in Dover, New Hampshire, gorgeous 100-year-old theater. I rented that for a full week, so 7 days. And the first 3 days was unloading the U-Haul and setting up a whole sci-fi set, right? It was it's like 4 walls, but it was 3 rooms. We would change out what was inside them so we could do different rooms of the set. And there's a wonderful picture there. And
that was a very difficult stunt, right? That hanging upside down stunt right there. There we go.
Oh yeah, you got to hang by your tippy toes. You can't use your ankles. You got to use your toes to grasp.
Yeah.
The upside down picture is 3 generations of Ahos. It is my son, myself, and my dad. And my dad was on set all 7 days. I wore him out. I brought him out of retirement, and he came through. So after 3 days of setup, we had three days of filming, and we started with KJ, Mitch, and Chris. The first day and the last 2 days, we had up to 6 actors. Kate and Isaac and Bob were all there. So the cast and crew combined were 9 people.
And then we complied.
What?
You said something, Arnie?
No, that wasn't important. Go ahead.
Okay. You realize this is actually like a talk show, so when you talk, But anyways, I digress. It's just been 2 years we've been doing this, so
I have never been on anyone else's film set, so this was a learning curve to the max for me. But it was so much fun, and I say that despite the trouble of not sleeping. First day of filming, I'm recording Arnie. So Arnie showed up first. We did all her scenes in the beginning. And then I corrupted the hard drive, and all of them were lost. And I didn't tell Arnie. We just kept filming that day.
He told me as soon as I got there.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm not going to let everyone know that I'm screwing this up. That's a good filmmaker
All I saw was Ethan giving Ryan a hug, and I'm like, I wonder what's going on there. But I was like, I'm sure it's fine.
So that night, the first night of filming, I got hardly no sleep because I'm working on a restoration program, trying to get the files back, hoping that it'll all work, and it didn't. Today we start, and the day starts off pretty good. So the first day of filming, Mitch and KJ helped get me in a groove of filming, and we were able to get the shots. We got 15 pages in one day, so I was super happy. The fact that I lost part of them didn't matter. I got 15 pages in one day.
Yeah.
Now, the second day started off pretty good because it was very much like the first. 3 people, 1 room, shoot from different angles. You get some close-ups. It works out. And then the second day, we get 6 people on set. And all of a sudden, I can't get good angles. Shots aren't working out. And my plan is out the window. You know, it's funny to say I had a plan. So I'm panicking and I'm rushing things. I do the thing like where I just take the camera off the tripod. I'm just trying to get shots in. And I don't know how much of my panic came through to the actors, but I was panicking. And then I screwed my camera onto the tripod. I moved the tripod and the camera was not screwed to that tripod. And the camera went.
Now, for those
and everyone on set just went quiet.
He dropped a camera. Now, breaking a camera on a film set, when it's the camera that you use to film, how important would you say that is, Ethan?
I had 1 camera and 1 lens. I had 3 laptops on set.
And the set was
how many
dead
cameras did you have?
silent.
What?
I said the
okay, Arnie, my show. Give me a second, all right? After the dramatic, how many cameras did you have after that?
Well, I had none, but I will say, Ryan, so when it went and it hit the ground, everyone just went quiet. And someone asked, "Is it okay?" And I turned it on and I said, "No." At which point, everything happened. A lot of people are like, "What do you need us to do?" I'm like, "Just hold tight." Mitch went over and tried to see if he could do anything with the lens, if he could repair the lens. Because the lens is what broke, not the camera, just the lens. So Mitch went over there. Ryan went over to his bags and he brought out his camera, started setting it up as a backup camera. I was like, well, we can keep going with this. And Dan from the Strand just starts calling up filmmakers he knows. And it's like, we need a camera. And then my dad started looking for rentals. And so we get all these options and they all kind of come back at the same time. Lens can't be fixed. Ryan's is an option, but it would be a pain, you know, with just logistic wise and also color science wise. And then my dad's like, I found a lens in Massachusetts. If I leave now, I can get it tonight and be back here by like 8:30. So the lens new is $1,000. So he hopped in his truck and he went to pick up a lens. And so I kind of looked at all the actors. I'm like, all right, everyone leave but Arnie, Mitch, and Ryan. And then we sat down and I explained to them that I was panicking and that's why I got careless. And then I explained, we have 1 day to finish everything. And how the hell do we do that? And they taught me a whole lot that evening. I learned so much. And I really feel that breaking the lens saved the production because I spent hours with Mitch and Ryan and KJ, and they taught me all these things for planning out tomorrow's shoot. And then I just stayed up late and I planned out the next day's shoot. So when everyone arrived on set, there was a plan. My dad had gotten back with a lens and we stuck to that plan and we shot till midnight and we finished the film.
Wow. My question though, did you keep the broken lens?
Oh yeah.
All right. Is it going
I might be able to
get like a gift at the premiere to someone, you know? Like,
well, if I can get the thing repaired, I'm getting it repaired. But
all right. I'm just thinking like if it's unrepairable, that'd be like a heck of a gift for that would be a great element. So overall, what was your experience? What was your experience like? I mean, this is your first big shoot. You've only done small films. You hadn't even worked on someone else's set, by the way. And so, and you got a film done. You got it film done in 3 days. Basically a week. I mean, let's just call it a week with building a set, which by and large, just so you know, independent filmmakers don't do that. So that to me was impressive that we just don't do that. We're like, no, we're going to find some place that's already built and we can go in and just borrow it for 4 hours till the owner gets there, you know? like a lot of independent filmmakers, myself included, that's the type of stuff that we do, you know, and hopefully we get out of there before they find out we broke something. So, you know, but you actually built a set, and when I called you after the shoot, you said the set is packed up, being put in a storage unit right now. So,
Yep.
I mean, what did this mean to you? How much did this mean to you being on set? That was your set, your story, and seeing these lines come to life.
It was just incredible. Doesn't even cover it. You know, even the lens breaking, the hard drive, which by the way I was able to get restored after the second night and lots of hours with tech support, so we didn't lose any shots. But it was just amazing all the way from start to end. And one of the just amazing things is, like every actor knew all their lines, and they show up, and it was the most incredible thing. Like my shot list when I started off was like, okay, we're gonna get this line from this angle and some back and forth and all. And then Mitch, KJ, and Chris were like, oh no, we're just gonna read like 5 pages of text at once, and we're just gonna go. And it was so cool to watch the actors play off each other. And you know, Chris would come up and he'd say, hey, this doesn't make sense for my character, and here's why it doesn't make sense. And I look at him, I'm like, yeah, you're right. That makes no sense. Why did I write it like that? And it was just great. I mean, at one point, Chris grabs Bob and he shakes him and throws him up against a radio because they were fighting or something. And I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. I wrote the dialogue, but you know, out of nowhere, Chris just jumps up, shakes this other actor, and throws him in the radio. And I'm like, that was amazing. Hey, Bob, can you do another take of that?
Bob said 16-hour day of filming, all fun. So it's definitely good. And he showed up for your interview on here. So I guess, you know, him being thrown around a set for 16 hours wasn't that big. It wasn't that big of a deal. So because he showed up to watch you interview about it. So yeah, that is so cool. I'm gonna ask you real quick before we're gonna go to break. If there was first time filmmaking, you got the first thing in the can. You succeeded where most have failed. You finished the film. You finished shooting it at least. If you had one bit of advice to someone who has never shot a movie before, what's the advice that you would give them?
Learn how to do a shot list. That makes everything. That makes the day.
Chris sounds like a whack job. No, I'd say he's just an actor, you know. So yeah.
What is it, Chris that said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Silva.
Oh, Rick Silva. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Chris.
That's Chris. Yeah. He is a whack job then, definitely. You know who we're talking about then. So anyway, make a shot list. But for now, we gonna make a break. And we're going to make a break for a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more with our special guest, Ethan Aho, and talk about his story about how he came to be in this filming world. And he's going to finally answer the question that is on the tip of all of our tongues. Well, just my tongue. We'll be right back. Arnie?
Shut up. I'm not saying anything now. Like, you can't yell at me now.
Please tell me there wasn't a number on that. But anyways. Welcome back to the show. It's the Early Late Night Live show on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 on Exeter Channel 98. I'm going to have a stern talk with Damn It Dan after this. It's the Early Late Night Live show. And yeah, Ethan Aho. Sorry, totally blanked on what was going on. And Ethan, I've got a couple questions for you. One is, what does the name of your company mean?
So I had an old friend of mine I worked with for 5 years, and he had bought armadillostampede.com and he owned it for years because he's like, I want to do something cool with it. But he's like, I never could figure out what to do with it, so I just let it lapse.
Right.
And he died while I worked with him. He had a heart attack. And so fast forward a few years, I'm trying to think of a company name. And I'm trying to think of different silly things. And then Armadillo Stampede came to mind. I was like, you know, he always liked that. I always liked that. let's run with it. Let's run with it. He would totally be behind this. So
He's not here to argue. So
he's not here to argue. But when he was alive, we argued all the time. That's how he talked. He's a great friend. And he would be the type of person I would love to talk about this stuff with. But he's no longer with us.
Well, hopefully
but that's where
you live on in memory with Armadillo Stampede. Did he ever say where the name came from at all?
Well, we talked about how a lot of internet companies were starting up, and they would just pick like an action and an animal, like galloping cow, or different silly things. Blue Domino used to be a website, so people were just adding colors and things, or animals and actions together, and that was one that he always thought was funny.
Armadillo Stampede. Okay, well, awesome. Well, in remembrance of your friend Armadillo, I don't even know what was his name.
His name was Philip.
Philip Armadillo Stampede, you are now remembered forever because your name was mentioned on the early late night live show. And you know what that means to most people? Pretty much nothing. But to us, it means something. So your film, Rockets in Space, was shot over the past week. You have shot a couple of minor short films up to this point in time. This was your first big production. You had most of the early late night live show involved in this production, except for Damn It Dan, which makes you kind of smart, come to think of it. Except for Damn It Dan and me, we weren't really involved in the project. It makes you very smart, come to think of it. You will go far in this business. You had KJ, she played a part. Mitch Fortier played a part. Ryan David Rogers of Ryan, I'm sorry, I just forgot the name of your production company.
Thorndike.
Thorndike, thank you. Thorndike Productions, yes. So you had them all involved. You used the Strand. You kind of pulled together all these elements that are usually usually when you start with a film, you're like, I got a camera. I guess I'll be the cameraman and the sound guy because I didn't even know what a sound guy was, and I'll be acting in front of it because no one wants to show up. But you had like a full film experience, a microcosm of full film experience. You had about 9 crew members total, and that to me is just like. That's so cool. And what would you say was the driving force that got you to get this done?
Well, I ran out of excuses. There was no more listening to podcasts or reading blog posts to learn anything new. It was all repetitive after a while. So after years of trying to teach myself, it was sort of, put up or shut up at that point. So it was time.
And so moving forward with that, have you got other productions in mind, other scripts that you've been working on? Because you worked on the script for quite a while. You've had this story for a while, haven't you?
I wrote the first version of this script 6 years ago. And then in January, I wrote a second version, got it reviewed, got the third one finalized like in January, February. But I have a lot of the outlines that I want to do. And so I'm probably going to stick with this rockets in space world, this sci-fi world, because I love sci-fi. And that's what I'm passionate about. So I'm going to keep trying to do some of these rockets in space, different little, films. And the length of them will be as long as they need to be for the specific story.
I like that. I like that you let the film be the length it needed to be. I used to get flack a lot because I was making feature films and everyone else was making short films. I remember getting asked by a guy, "Why don't you write a short film? Why don't you make a short film?" I said, "I didn't write one." Like I don't know about you, but I don't think about how many pages I'm trying to reach when I'm writing a script, and just writing until the end comes, and then whatever amount of pages. And so it was really cool that you told me this is a borderline feature film. It's about 40 minutes long, right?
That's the hope, is that it'll be about 40 minutes long when I'm done editing it. We'll see how accurate that is, but I think it'll be about that.
And is it going to be in black and white?
Yes. So those pink walls will turn into a light off-white. And it'll definitely be black and white, which is the most colorful set you can imagine. I mean, my brother was on set singing "I'm a Barbie Girl" in a Barbie. But
I thought it was
it'll be black and white in the end. And some fun facts. In those 3 days, we took about 450 videos. So that's about 450 takes. And the data between the audio and the video is at 1.3 terabytes right now.
Now, did you shoot it in 4K?
Yes.
and I know I'm getting into technical jargon here, but it's black and white, and basically you are reminiscent of like 1950s B sci-fi films, right?
Yes.
Okay. Respect. Now, it's shot in 4K. It's going to be in black and white. All right. And I know you talked before when you're back on the show, you talked about using different colors to get out different frames of black and white. And one of the things I've often said that people shot in black and white back then, they didn't want it to be black and white. They didn't have any choice. And so they're trying to ramp up as much color as they could because they had no choice. Are you going to do it in a 4:3 format?
Yes.
That's awesome. Are you going to release it in 4K, though, in a 4:3 format in black and white?
And, well, as close to 4K as 4:3 gets. But it's one of those, it would cost more money if I actually did it in color, because then I'd have to get the colors right. And that's harder. So for all the props and everything else, it was easier to go black and white.
Right.
And when I was shooting the camera had that little view screen on the back of it, and then it had outlines of where 4:3 aspect ratio was, so I could see exactly what the framing would be.
That's really cool because my camera didn't do that. I shot a film about a 1940 style slapstick comedy, and we did it in black and white for the same reason that you just said. Is we realized we weren't going to get we didn't have the budget to get the right texture of the clothing and the couches. We knew it was going to be a period piece. Then we said, why don't we just shoot it in black and white, make it look like it was shot in the 40s? That way we don't have to worry about the textures or the material that the couches are made out of. But we didn't have that 4:3 format, so we shot it in widescreen, and I had to guess where things are going to be cropped. I didn't always guess that accurately, though. So that's really cool that you are really. What do you want people to walk away with this? You want them to really feel like they step back in time?
Well, with sci-fi, the things I love about sci-fi and the sci-fi that I remember the most are the ones that make me think at the end. So this one has that sort of, thunker, at the end where it leaves you sort of pondering what was said. And so when you watch the film, yes, it's going to have a very stylized, very minimalistic sci-fi retro feel to it. So it really goes on that border of its hokiness and serious sci-fi, which is what they used to do. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was going for. And I really think we got it.
That's awesome. Well, we got one more thing to mention before we wrap this segment up. I was told, and this is my notes, and this is the technical ability of our crew to write something extraordinarily specific, so I know exactly what to say. And it basically shows what my intelligence is, because it just says mention the June cork and drop link. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that verbatim, because I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but that should explain why I shouldn't be the host of this show. So what is the June cork?
So during the filming, there was certain stressful times, like a camera breaking, and other times where I was just so, when we started at 8 a.m. on the last day of filming and we went to midnight, people had come up to me and be like, it's 7 o'clock, we need food, because I forgot what time it was. Right. So during this time, Dan from the Strand, he has, the vocals of an angel sometimes, and he reached out to certain restaurants in the area. And so the June cork, when the lens was broken, we're all sitting around trying to come up with a plan for how to film the next day. The June cork actually came and delivered food as a donation to set. So they were awesome. And their food also was very good. It's English food. So they came on.
I've been looking for an English pub. So for more information, you can go to thejunecorkpub.com, right?
I'm not sure the URL, but I'm definitely going to be thanking them at the end of this film, because they helped with that. And the other restaurant I'd like to thank is the 2 Home Cooks. That's the number 2 homecooks.com. They also provided meals to the whole cast and crew on Friday for lunch, and they just did these basically awesome sort of like cold cut sandwiches for us. And so big thank you for them. Big thank you to Dan. They really helped out quite a bit as we ran to pick up a new lens. So yeah, those are the shots. Also, Thorndike Productions, Ryan, some of the equipment he brought really changed the whole set and made it better with the lighting. He did a great job. Dan was amazing at the Strand. Dan even helped us load up the U-Haul at the end. So
Dan from the Strand is Strandtastic. If you guys just go to the Strand website and check out their stuff, they are back open for business too. But if you're a filmmaker out there and you're looking to build a set, we don't have a lot of options that aren't like astronomically overpriced and just like people won't let us use the place because we're weirdos. So to have a place, a big open area that is air conditioned, is hard to find. So I highly recommend to any other filmmaker out there, if you're looking to build a set somewhere, Dover, New Hampshire, the Strand Theater, look them up. It's awesome. And if you want more information, send us an email at info@narrowstreetfilms.com and we can connect you up with them. But Ethan, we got to wrap this up, man. This has been a lot of fun having you on. Very informative. I'm really super proud of you for taking the initiative and seeing this through to the end. And I'm looking forward to being at the premiere once all this COVID thing settles down. I'm hoping you have the premiere at the Strand because I just think it would be cool to be there because I'm close to it and I wouldn't have to drive far. And that's what my life is like right now.
It's all about Terry.
One way or the other, it will be at the Strand at some point. And while it may not look like it, inside, I am like the Price is Right person getting their name called, just running around, jumping up and down. That has been my emotion since we wrapped filming. So,
well, congratulations! You accomplished something that most people haven't. So you set to you had a dream that you wanted to see, and now you saw it. So just got to move on to the next one now, buddy.
And don't do everything yourself this time around.
No.
I might have learned some of that, Mitch.
All right. Anyways, thank you, Ethan Aho. For more information about his productions, you go to armadillostampede.com, right?
Yep. And if you just want to follow the project, it's rocketsinSpace.com.
RocketsinSpace.com, armadillostampede.com. And coming up tomorrow, we're very excited about this. Coming up tomorrow, we are throwing a book fair, an online book fair hosted by the Early Late Night Live Show. This will be on our Facebook page. It'll be running from 7 to 9 tomorrow on the Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page. We have 12 authors coming, right, Arnie?
13, technically.
13 authors coming, a baker's dozen, to talk about their books. And we won't be on, if you're watching this on TV, we won't be on the Exeter television station, but we will be on our Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page, which is the Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page. That's it. Yes. And if you're wondering what it looks like the Stephen Colbert logo because I basically stole the design. So that's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on the Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page. Online book fair. It should be a lot of fun. We get to interview with a lot of authors, some of them who've been on this show and some of them who have not. So it should be awesome. And if you're a book reader, or if you want to be a book reader, or if you're considering being a book reader, or if you got nothing else to do, I highly recommend that you tune in tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on our Facebook page. We are going to break. When we come back, we will have a game hosted by Mitch Fortier. We'll be back.
Okay, take care of that.
Oh, sure. I'll get right on it.
Thanks. What?
Go ahead.
Okay, what are you doing here?
I was just thinking, your show has all these silly, goofy shenanigans and everything. There's nothing serious. Serious topics and issues.
Whoa, what do you mean with serious topics?
Your show isn't serious.
My show is very serious, as you know. Yes, it is very serious. We talked about the Academy Board thing, and then we gave book sounds.
No, this is what you talk about. There are people taking their cats without consent, putting them on a leash, taking them to the park.
Guys! Yeah. And Dan, take off my damn jacket. Cats on a leash?
They don't even have a choice, and they take them to the park, and then they get loose, and there's a child who maybe touch the cat, or somebody steps on it, or there's
Kate,
cars.
go home.
Well, we were on the screen? Okay, there we are. Welcome back to the early late night live show. And this is the last quarter of the show, our first show back since Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to everyone, and welcome back to the show. My computer is freezing up, so I'm going to let Mitch Fortier take over as I'm trying to fix my computer.
Alrighty. So we had originally planned one game, of course, and because we're in the format of being virtual, we had to shift gears a little bit. So we're just finalizing those adjustments. Admittedly, these games are not something that I thought up all by myself. I'm not that smart, though I'd like to think I'm pretty creative. Ethan, I just sent you a zip file via email. Hopefully you will get that shortly. Go ahead and unzip that folder, and you'll see inside that folder there's a bunch of other folders labeled 1 through 9. Terry, have you got them?
I think I got this. Yep.
Just don't look inside the numbered folders if you haven't already. If you, for whatever reason, you got a preview set up on it, that's fine. And, it's just, hey.
I'm hoping it's unzipped.
Okay. And you'll know that when you're able to see inside of the unzipped folder. It's called Album of Lies. I can't look at it right now to verify it, so. KJ, do you see each of the folders in front of you that are labeled 1 through 9?
Yes, I do.
All right. So, Ethan, are you ready? Do you have your 1 through 9 folders?
I got the 9 folders.
Okay, perfect. Terry, you just let me know when you've got yours, and then we'll add you.
I don't know if, I'm not going to know until I try to open one of the folders, but I'm not supposed to open it right now.
Oh, so, you can see folder 1 and folder 9?
I can see folders. I can see the folders 1 through 9.
Okay, that's all that matters. All right, perfect. All right. So, here's what we'll do. KJ, you will start first.
Okay.
You will choose a number, and then you will open that folder, and you will view the picture that is inside. You will describe that picture to Terry, and you will have to put on your game face and be the amazing actress that you are if you decide you want to lie about this picture and tell him something completely untrue. And then he has to guess as to whether or not you're lying or whether or not you're telling the truth. Now, you guys being brother and sister, you kind of know each other pretty well, so it'll be interesting to see what really happens here.
All right, Arnie, let's see if you got any malarkey in you.
So, pick a number, 1 through 9. And,
I went to 1 because I accidentally opened it up already.
I am going to be... once you, Terry, you get one guess, of course. KJ, you get about 30 seconds to describe the picture as best you can. And once Terry makes his guess, I will reveal the picture on my screen in place of my head. Because I have the technology to do that now.
All right.
What number?
1.
She's going with 1.
Going with 1. Okay. Go ahead and describe what you're seeing in front of you to Terry, and either lie or tell the truth.
All right. So there's a cut watermelon on a table. The table is made up of legs that are like human legs that are wearing socks, and the socks are kind of the same color as the watermelon. It's against a pink background.
She's telling the truth.
Just didn't sound like me.
She's telling the truth.
Yeah, KJ, you can go ahead and confirm whether or not you're telling the truth.
I'm telling the truth. Do you want to show the picture? It's pretty funny.
I'm gonna show the picture here.
She's embarrassed to explain something, so it's something real. Yeah.
And I'm gonna see if I can bring this up on my screen so that everybody can see. Now, can you guys see this?
Yes, we can.
Yep. I don't know if I can see it on my computer. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the second one.
You'll be able to see it.
Okay, yes, I can. Okay, so I can.
That's amazing.
Right.
Okay. So did I get to do the next one?
So Terry, since you got it correct and KJ failed to fool you, if you will, then you go ahead and pick a folder.
All right, I'm going to pick 2 just to go in order, just to make things simple, all right?
All right.
Okay, I'm opening the photo right now.
Ethan, I'm going to give Ethan the opportunity to...
he's lying.
Tell whether he's lying or telling the truth.
All right, Okay, this is a squirrel doing a Jean-Claude Van Damme split between two flowers while holding nuts in his mouth.
He's lying.
Confirm or deny, Terry.
Deny. I'm telling the truth. Yeah. He's doing a Jean-Claude Van Damme split between two flowers while holding a nut in his mouth.
When he brought up Jean-Claude Van Damme, I thought you were going to your inner creativity there.
That was the idea. I've got a bit more malarkey in me than Arnie does.
As soon as I saw that picture, I'm like, this is freaking hilarious. I hope Terry picks it.
I love it. Can you post that on Facebook? That's got to be on our page. Jean-Claude Van Damme as a squirrel. You know. I love it. Okay, so
Terry,
you did next.
No, Terry, you succeeded in duping the other contestants, so you will now deliver. You will deliver the next photo to KJ.
All right, I'm doing number 3. Just moving down the line. Let me open up this photo. So get it open. Sorry, my computer is a bit slow.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Number three. Here we go. Okay. This is a couple of hairy feet in bowls of milk. On a skateboard. Fruit Loops are in the bowl.
I have no idea. I'm going to say it's the truth.
Confirm, you got it right, Arnie. You got it right.
Can I see it?
I love these photos. These are some
What a weird photo.
There was no way to spin that. I could not explain. I couldn't. That photo was too good to lie about. I wanted this photo to be seen as is. So.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay. So, KJ, you won that round, so you get to choose the next folder.
Okay, so I'll do 4. And who am I reading it to?
That would be Ethan.
All right. All right. So.
You chose 4?
I chose 4.
Copy that.
Okay. So this is a blue hat. It says Utah on it, and it's on a brown counter, and behind it is a binder, a dark blue binder that says Sprites on the side.
I'm just gonna go with your line again because I'm gonna guess that it's really close, but you changed some elements.
Can you show that picture?
Incoming.
I'm actually talking about what was on my desk. I thought maybe I could lie better.
That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be able to read you, Ronnie, but I was guessing you were lying with that too.
Yeah. Too many details for me.
What, like hairy legs and Fruit Loops?
So who gets the next one?
Ethan
So Ethan
won.
gets the next one.
All right. So Ethan was correct, and he will get to choose the next folder and deliver it to Terry.
All right. I'm going to pick the 9th one. I'm going to just change it up here.
Right.
So this one is of a lady at 3:19. I'm going to guess PM. No one should be awake in AM at that point. They've got, black shoes, black dress, and they're on the clock, and the clock is really big.
Telling the truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
The lady, she is literally on the clock.
She's on
Yeah.
time. You know?
She's on time as well.
Not late. She's on time. Yeah. It's
If
pregnancy.
she's on time, that means she's not me.
But I would like to dispute the time that she's actually on, because it looks like more like 8:37.
What? Yeah, she's. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
you know what? That's funny. So my background. That's funny. It's reversed on my computer.
Oh, okay. Let's see. All right. So,
All right. So Terry was correct. So he is next in line,
all right. Who am I saying this to?
and you will deliver to KJ.
All right. I'm doing number 5. What's up? All right. This is a large bowl of spaghetti and meatballs with a fat guy looking at it.
It's a lie.
Yeah, you're right.
You did say 5, right?
I picked number 5. Yeah, it's it looks like crayfish, bowl of crayfish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was my little hump at the end, wasn't it?
For you
And
seafood lovers.
It was the lack of detail, I think, honestly.
Huh?
It was the lack of detail.
A little over
I was trying to
adjustment.
see if I go with the simple one, the simple description, would you get it? You know.
Yeah.
So I probably could have just actually described this one because it's a simple photo, and you would have called it a lie, actually.
Well.
Oh well.
So
All right,
KJ, you are
oh,
the
last
winner of
one.
that round. What we got for
All right.
time here?
We got
Time for one more?
One more.
All right, go ahead and pick a folder, Arnie.
All right, I'll do 7.
And you will deliver to Ethan.
All right, Ethan. So, this looks like Will Ferrell eating a giant face-sized hamburger. And it looks like he's half asleep as he's eating it. And there's a hand with a wedding ring in the frame. So it looks like a very, very casual photo.
What's on the hamburger? What sort of toppings does it have?
All I see is lettuce.
So I'm going to go with you're telling the truth. And maybe I'll get one of these right.
You are! Yeah!
Hey, I just gotta ask, and I know he's our guest, but I gotta end this. Was he allowed to ask one more question? I don't think this is 20 questions.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. So that's
I like the question. Because if I was blind, I'd have to think fast.
That round is notably under protest.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All right. So,
But yeah, it's Will Ferrell eating a very large burger.
so I think I have time for one more. Arnie, I want you to do. Can I do 8 and do it to Ethan just one more round?
Fine by me. I have no objection.
All right. I'm gonna do number 8. We're gonna bring it up. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Okay. It's a bunch of Marios and little figurines, which I'm guessing are from the game. I've actually never played Mario.
All right,
Huh?
you're telling the truth.
I am telling the truth. Yes. Give the man. So he redeemed himself. Yes. I don't actually know how to. I've never played this game before. But anyways, we got to wrap this show up, guys. It's our first show back. Thank you, Ethan Aho. Make sure you check out rocketsandspace.com for more information. And Armadillo Stampede. Tune in tomorrow night for our online book fair on the Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page. 2 hours of interesting conversations and some fun and laughs, and hopefully get some more information about some great local authors. Thank you, KJ. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Ethan. Dan, you're still here, but we thank you anyways. And Ryan at Thorndike Productions, thank you very much. Thank you, Exeter TV. And we are out of here. We will see you next week.
Hey, thanks for watching the Early Late Night Live Show. We are on every Wednesday night live at Exeter Studios in Exeter, New Hampshire, 7 p.m. every Wednesday night. please make sure to join us next week for more entertainment, comedy, and information that is probably not that important or timely, but no sports and no politics, so there's that. To find out more about my film company, make sure to check out narrowstreetfilms.com. To find out more about Killarney's writing, make sure you check out KillarneyTraynor.com. To find out more about Mitch and his acting, I'm sure he's got a website. I keep forgetting the name of it. I'll write it down here. To find out more about the wonderful studio that we produce at Exeter Studio, go to exeternh.tv. They're a great studio and they're doing a lot of cool things. But please make sure to like us on Facebook, and please, please, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell and like, and make sure that you share with your friends and enemies alike, because we don't judge that much. See you next week.